Good morning, Kasner students. This is your mental health support team. I'm Mrs. Beer, your school psychologist.
I'm Mrs. Monroe, one of the counselors here at Kasner.
I'm Miss Morales, the other counselor.
So for this month's video, we wanted to go ahead and take some time to talk about goal setting. This tends to be the time of year where people start talking about things like New Year's resolutions and setting goals and changing things up in their life. For me personally, I don't really find that New Year's resolutions are very successful. In fact, there's a lot of research to support that they aren't successful because people tend to be too broad when they think about what they want to do for the year. So they think about like, oh, I want to get healthy this year, or I want to make my image this year, or things like that, but they don't think very specifically. And so it's really hard to measure your progress as you're moving forward if you don't have something that like clearly defines what that goal looks like. So today we're going to talk about the SMART goal strategy. Specifically, we're going to be referencing information from our Pathways to Success program that we use for our executive functioning class. And it's just going to break down very specifically how you can go through and you can identify goals through the SMART goals format. So as you can see, it stands for SMART, the S stands for specific, M is for measurable, A is for attainable, R is for relevant, and T is for time-bound or timely. What exactly will I accomplish? So this is where you want to be really, really specific and think about who's involved in this goal. Is it just you, or is there somebody else that's involved in the process as well? And then you think about what do you want to happen? So ultimately, what is your long-term hope for this goal? What is it that you want to achieve in the end? Then you need to think about when will the goal start and when will it end? So is this something that you're looking to do over the course of multiple months? Maybe it's something that you're looking to do over the course of an entire year. So, but just thinking about when to start it and when it should be done by. And then where will this take place? Is this something that you can do within your home? Does it need to occur outside your home? Do you need to think about, different facilities or different resources that need to be involved in the process? And then the last piece is, how will I reach this goal? So think about very specific goal, like steps that you want to take. So we don't just get from one point to the other without a bunch of little mini steps in between. So think about very specifically, how will you be able to identify if you are making progress towards that goal?
The second step for a SMART goal is measurable. So how do you know that you reached that goal? How do you know that you're making progress? How do you know that you got there in the end? So one of the easiest ways to make a goal measurable is to use numbers. So whether you're using a time or you're using like how often, like the frequency something's going to happen, or things like that, you want to make sure that you're able to measure it. So I said I'm going to wake up 5 days a week before my alarm goes off at 6 a.m. You want to know whether you met that goal because you're counting each day of the week. Okay, well, I missed it today, so I only made it 4 days of the week, but you're able to measure your progress. So it's really important that you're able to set some sort of measure so you know if you're making progress towards your goal. The next step is making sure it's attainable. So it's okay to have a big goal and something that you're working towards, but you want to make sure it's possible. It's something that you are able to achieve, something that you have control over. So a lot of times we say we want to set this goal, but other people are the ones that are in charge of whether that happens or not, right? So we want to come back to school. However, we don't have control over when we're allowed to do that. And so that's not a goal that's necessarily attainable for you to set for yourself. So it's just really important that the goal is possible, something that you can control yourself.
And then the next goal, guys, is relevance. So why is this goal important to you? So for example, if the goal is your grades, it's important that you make sure you focus and check maybe on a weekly basis on your grades on Student Connect, or you can contact your counselor to double check and help you how to log in. So it's important to reach a goal that it's important to you. So an example would be grades, timely. So when will I reach my goal by? So for example, a good goal would be your 6 weeks progress reports. So that would be a good goal to reach since we just started the new semester. And then how often will I track my goal? So I would recommend maybe checking it on the weekly basis as well. So, or every other week, because sometimes teachers don't update grades in a weekly phase. So I would say maybe every other week to check your grades.
So for me personally, I know that I've really been trying to focus on making sure that I'm organized this year. There's a lot that's going on. There's a lot of information that's constantly changing. And so it's very easy to kind of get swept away in that. So I'm a very routine oriented person. I tend to do much better when I have things that are, clearly written out, and I have my planner that's, very well established so that I have something to kind of keep me on track and keep me focused. So for myself, I went ahead and I put down the goal of by February, I will organize my daily schedule by identifying all my meetings, appointments, and classes each day of the week, and then enter these items into my planner or electronic calendar. So for some of us, we do a lot better with putting things into our phone because we can put reminders and it can send out, messages that let us know that something's coming up. For me personally, I do really well with, a visual calendar. I have to keep mine organized by color so that I know whether it's something that I need to be doing as a school psychologist for like some of my students, or if it's something that as a mom I need to be aware of. So I put down, for me specifically, it will be with a planner, with a hard copy calendar, but for other individuals, this might look like something like your phone. Again, it should be kind of focused and catered around your strengths and what's going to help you stay on track.
And for me, guys, my SMART goal would be, I have a word for the year. So by December, I will keep my word of the year, which is brave. So what that means for me is I will be vocal, unafraid, and spontaneous. So when I say vocal, I mean, believe it or not, Miss Morales is a little bit shy at times. So I don't speak up as often, so I'm working on that. And then unafraid, because believe it or not, I don't know how to swim. So baby steps, I can get in the pool, but I like to be around the pool. So I'll try that. And then spontaneous, because I love to travel. So hopefully I could travel this year and plan some fun trips outside the country. So that's what brave means for me this year.
The goal that I want to go over, guys, is something that I hope resonates with you, because Miss Monroe asks you this all of the time. You say you want to get better grades, but what does that mean? You say that we're going to focus on math, and you tell me that, but I need you to look at it in a SMART goal format. So Ms. Morales kind of shared that, the 6-week grading period is a good time to check in on your grades. 12-week grading period, 18-week grading period this semester. So this SMART goal says, by March, I will improve my math grade to 85% by staying for extra help, completing all my homework, and spending at least 30 minutes studying. So we all know you try, right? You want to get good grades, but if you don't have a plan on how you're going to do that, it's very hard, because you've been trying this whole time, but unless you're focused and you know exactly what you need to do, it becomes a little bit overwhelming, and you're like, well, I did my homework, so I'm good. But you also need that extra help. You also need to do that study time. And then I really want you to focus on the fact that it's measurable. So you want to get it up to an 85% or a B by the next grading period in March. And so that's really important that you know when you've attained that goal versus I just want to do better. What's better look like? So that's what it means to do a SMART goal. So we will post this video, as you know, on our website, and I'll put a worksheet there for you guys from this Pathways to Success curriculum so that you know how to kind of go through the process and make sure that your goals are SMART.